This is TOPTENSPIO, and I am your host with a brand new interesting video on top 10 movies with deeper meanings. Before the video starts, kindly like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative videos. Number 10, Click, 2006. Although Click isn't an Oscar-winning drama, this contributes to the impact of its message. We were prepared for a typical Adam Sandler comedy but were instead moved to tears and inspired to make the most of every opportunity. Of course, the message is not new. As long as there have been people, YOLO has existed as a concept. But it's always wonderful to be reminded, and Click encourages us to work for our goals while savoring each step of the journey. The film Click, which was directed by Frank Coraci, centers on an American commoner named Michael who was granted the power to pause, fast forward, and replay time. Number 9, A Groundhog Day, 1993. On the surface, Groundhog Day appears to be a fun romantic comedy film with a compelling story. As the grouchy workaholic Bill Murray is being his typical off-kilter self and making caustic judgments. His sour self-centeredness is tested one day when he is made to repeatedly relive the same day. With this lineup of hilarious jokes, filmmaker Harold Ramis also makes a powerful point. Amid the suffering of Phil's never-ending cycle, he discovers how to achieve true and lasting serenity. He initially manipulates the time loop to get what he wants by lying, but this only brings momentary pleasure. He also makes an effort to deceive Rita into liking him, but emotions just cannot be coerced. Phil would even prefer to take his own life than embrace the path of goodness and truth. Number 8, Bruce Almighty. Another movie that appears to be a comedy on the surface but has many unanticipated meanings that caught us off guard is Bruce Almighty. Jim Carrey has acted in several films that deal with philosophy, such as The Outstanding Yes Man and The Timeless Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. He tries his attempt at playing God in Bruce Almighty. Bruce is a struggling TV host who is plagued by domestic issues and poor luck. God, Morgan Freeman, gives Bruce his powers when they first meet to determine whether Bruce could perform them more effectively. A warning, he doesn't. In our scientifically developing culture, especially among the religious, the advice "don't play God" is frequently given. Number 7, Doctor Strange, 2016. With a supernatural twist, Doctor Strange is your standard Marvel superhero movie. More than superpowers, Stephen Strange possesses divine abilities. He learns from the Ancient One how to employ his metaphysical powers to cross realms and time. The story incorporates the Hindu and Buddhist idea of chakras, which are bright circular patterns that represent the body's energy centers. To overcome his physical limitations, Strange receives an energetic therapy akin to the Japanese Reiki technique. To master himself, he draws on the ancient and ritualistic. He can defend the outside world because of this inner healing. Number 6, The Polar Express, 2004. Another children's book-turned-movie with more to it than meets the eye is The Polar Express. The main character serves more as a symbol than a person and lacks a name or any significant backstory. What is a symbol, you ask? Agnosticism. Yes, that might sound like a heavy subject to cover in a family holiday film, but stick with me. In The Polar Express, everyone except the children is voiced by Tom Hanks, and everything is whimsical, heavenly, ambiguous, and symbolic. On Christmas Eve, Hero Boy decides to ride the Polar Express train for the first time because he's not sure if Santa Claus is real. He is convinced to join the train for this purpose specifically by the conductor. Number 5, Get Out, 2017. At first sight, Get Out appears to be a typical horror movie. However, its horrors are white humans, not ghosts or vampires. Get Out largely uses racism and slavery as the basis for its scares, conjuring up horrors that are even more terrifying than werewolves and Slender Men because, well, racism is real. Similar to a plantation, the Armitage family is run. The staff is all black and has eerie forced smiles, whereas the family is affluent and white. It comes out that the cult family entices people to take their brains and traits. Chris Washington, the main character in this story, is the one who is brought home by his girlfriend. Chris stays despite the unsettling energy in the house and soon discovers that he has been put under hypnosis. Number 4, A Soul, 2020. The Soul is a movie for adults more than any other Pixar film since it encourages us to enjoy life to the fullest. And not in a corny YOLO manner, but rather in a profound manner. Every minute is a priceless treasure, as Pete Docter and Kemp Powers tell us. For a family movie, Soul is surprisingly complicated. It presents the afterlife in a breathtakingly spiritual manner, explaining that music and art are manifestations of the inner soul that lives outside of the physical world. Joe Gardner, a would-be jazz pianist, unexpectedly passes away and finds himself in the great beyond before escaping to the great before. Before they travel to Earth, spirits are prepared there. Number 3, Pan's Labyrinth, 2006. Guillermo del Toro isn't simply providing us with a fantastical tale of monsters and magic in Pan's Labyrinth. It is a battle drama with sinister undertones. Del Toro doesn't employ conventional folklore motifs only out of laziness, rather, he does so to help viewers like us understand difficult concepts. Throughout the movie, symbols are frequently used to suggest that Ophelia needs to get out of her predicament. Ophelia is given 3 tasks when she discovers an old stone labyrinth that will result in her reincarnation as Princess Moana. But the little girl keeps breaking the rules set by the hideous creatures of the labyrinth. Number 2, Everything Everywhere All at Once, 2022. The act of watching Everything Everywhere All at Once is trippy in and of itself. You should surely immerse yourself in the absurdist comedy drama by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Skaynert. As the proprietor of a laundromat, Evelyn Kwan Wang, played by Michelle Yeoh, leads a routine yet stressful life. The IRS is harassing her about late payments, her husband secretly files for divorce, and she rejects her daughter's attempts to come out of the closet. Additionally, Evelyn is forced into several parallel realities to battle verse-jumping minions and planet-ending black holes. She doesn't require any of that, or perhaps she does require that specifically. Everything Everywhere All at After presents the hippie dream in one of the most inventive ways ever seen in a film once you take away all the crazy special effects, costume designs, and kung fu sequences. Number 1 of The Truman Show, 1998. The Truman Show by Peter Weir is a science fiction drama that challenges reality. Truman, a play on the phrase genuine man, has spent his entire life as the focus of a reality TV program. The problem? He is unaware that his life is on television. Truman believes that the only thing worth doing in the world is to wave to your neighbor from across rose-covered, white picket fences. When a bright light descended from the heavens and destroyed Truman's entire world, he realized that all of his friends and family were real performers. After 30 years of peaceful sailing, Truman starts to notice odd things, which makes him act erratically. The Truman Show is a complex, unique film that makes us feel strange. Though disconcerting, the idea of a plastic, preset, commercially driven world is not that far off from reality. Here is the end of this video. If you find it interesting, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.